We're back. Damn that tree. Oh, yes. It's real. It's not fake. It's a real tree. Everybody, what's going on? I'm so happy to be back. It's been a very, very long time since I've done a stream. It feels great to be back. It feels good to be back. This is the first stream I'm doing with an actual microphone. I don't know if it sounds better, but we're back. Can't hear the music. Can't hear your music too loud. Sorry. This, I'm shaking off the rust. It's not the preseason. Kind of the preseason for me. It's not the preseason for me, but it's kind of the preseason for me. I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to enhance the stream. I got some time on my hands. Maybe I could do more, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to talk Rutgers football. We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, I didn't do anything for weeks 1 or 2. We're going to jump into that. Rutgers right now 2-0. Every year at the start of the year, the goal that I put on the team is to start the year 3-0. Typically, it's a 3-0 out of conference schedule. This year, Rutgers obviously started out with Northwestern at home. We're 1-0 in the conference record. That's even better. But yeah, let's dive into it real quick. Obviously, got to talk about something. It's not Rutgers related. I want to move this way so you can see the Rutgers flag. Wait, everything's backwards. Rutgers flag. But yeah, I'm excited to be back. Hold on 1 minute. Let's answer some questions. If there's questions in the chat, before I jump into something unrelated to Rutgers, I just want to catch up on the chat. Again, credit to me for doing the stream, but it's still rusty, all right? We're still rusty. Everything's going to be better. But let's see. Matt, as a first-time Rutgers tailgater, what can I expect? I hope you answer what I'm in store for during your show tonight. I'm going to answer it now, Sean, and I can't wait for you to come. It's been a while since I saw you. I'm excited to hang out. What should you expect? You should expect to chop. Pretty much. That's about it. You're always back. With me, we're going to be chopping. But what are we going to do? We're going to have food. We're going to have beer. We're going to have friends. And most importantly, we're going to have Rutgers Nation there with us, celebrating for, 5 hours before kickoff. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a tent. It's probably going to be cooking in the sun. But some things unrelated to the tailgate that you're going to get to experience. Of course, the Rutgers Boardwalk. That's right. The Jersey Shore in Piscataway, New Jersey. Nowhere near the ocean, but it's coming to you. They got cotton candy, a Ferris wheel, carnival people. It's amazing. It's amazing. The Rutgers Athletics Department has done a tremendous job enhancing the game. That's a great question. We'll get to that one too. The Rutgers Athletic Department has done a tremendous job enhancing the game day experience for anybody between the ages of toddler, newborn to seasoned vet who's been going to Rutgers forever. Is it a baby-friendly environment? Yes. The tailgate, specifically within the fines of the 3 trucks that will be there, can be family-friendly. Will it be family-friendly? Well, I'll leave that one up to you. There's going to be a lot of alcohol. There's going to be a lot of fun. Depends on how much you're going to have. But the Rutgers Boardwalk, absolutely family-friendly. Something else that you're going to experience, Sean. And obviously, we're jumping ahead. We're not talking about the game. We're talking about tailgate. We're talking about fun. But this is what Rutgers Nation is about. But what else can you expect? You can expect the Scarlet Walk. So let's see, if the game's at 3:30, probably around 1:30, the buses are going to come down Bush campus towards the stadium. Greg Schiano's going to hop off the bus. The team's going to follow him. And leading up to the hedges that pass the trophy or the statue that commemorates the first Rutgers football game or first college football game, we're going to be seeing the team. We're going to be slapping hands, as they say. We're going to be cheering them on. All of Rutgers Nation is going to be there. It's going to be very fun. I'm excited for that. If it's your first time going to a Rutgers tailgate, you're absolutely joining me on that. As long as we're not having too much fun at the who is this? Mallory, bring in our what else? Matt, will we win the conference? We're going to get to that at the end. That's a question we're going to address at the end when we talk about the state of the Big Ten. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I think we're probably like 2 elite recruiting classes away defensively from having arguably a top 3, top 2 defense in the conference. I know I'm probably getting ahead of it, but the way the defense is playing, what we have, the type of players you have in specific positions, and we're going to get into it, it's really awesome. Let's see. Sean, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, there's a couple other things, I guess housekeeping, not really stream related, but I have began contributing to On the Banks, a website, Rutgers Sports. Thanks. Shout out Anthony. Anthony got me this mic for Christmas. Old Saint Nick, as they call him, or Old Saint Tony, I guess we can say. Excuse me. Credit to me. Still coming off a cold, playing sick. Not hurt, not injured, but playing sick. Just saying. Not COVID, tested. I know I shouldn't probably, and who knows if I should be tested, but not COVID, but still playing hurt, credit to me. Now, going back to what I'm doing on the banks, posting articles, some funny, some truly analytical. I like to blend it, really trying to use that as a platform to boost engagement, mostly among the younger audience that's out there, the more millennial audience, the people where there's a gap in a Rutgers athletics. You have the students that show out, but those are undergrads, and then you have the season ticket holders and the people that have been showing up forever. There's just an age gap. I'm really trying to use this platform, especially this stream, to bridge that gap, to get people in, to just have fun. It's a growing program. It's a developmental program. I want to use my platform to grow that. I'm also doing a podcast with Greg Patuto. I met him through On the Banks. He had the post. That's how I got involved. We're doing a podcast, Banks of the Raritan. We're coming out with 2 podcasts a week. Typically on Tuesday will be a review or recap of the previous game. So the most recent one's about Temple. It was very fun. It's very fun recapping a win. Not looking forward to when it's a loss, but that's when you can really get into the nitty-gritty of where the team is, what you can expect from the team. And then also there's going to be a second one that comes out on Fridays. We're recording tomorrow, actually, and it's a preview of the game. So if you're interested about Virginia Tech, I'm going to touch on it today, but we'll do a more deep dive on that podcast. So with all that being said, I just want to get into some news that everybody across the globe is talking about, and that is Aaron Rodgers. So as much as I'm a Rutgers fan, I know this is a Rutgers podcast, I have been a Jets fan, I don't know, I think since like 4th grade, 3rd grade maybe. And I've witnessed not a lot, very few moments that have been worth talking about, being proud about. But Aaron Rodgers becoming a Jet and literally never completing a pass as a Jet and still being the best quarterback they've ever had, including Joe Namath, who won a Super Bowl and was the first quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards. And I think he might be like the only Jets quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards. This was a heartbreaking moment, but at the same time, it was numbing. I genuinely wasn't sad. You're so used to this. We hyped ourselves up as fans. We knew it was a mistake. We've done this time and time again. When Ryan Fitzpatrick re-signed with the Jets after the 2015 season, we were seriously thinking we were going to win 10 games. We're insane. We're delusional. We do this all the time. Hard Knocks only made it worse, but here we are the day after, literally an incredible win. An incredible, dramatic win on 9/11. So much at stake. Division rival. Aaron Rodgers running out with an American flag. Truly an amazing game day experience. Probably the best at MetLife. Besides, I guess, the Super Bowl. But that Super Bowl stunk between the Broncos and the Seahawks. But this was just devastating. Regardless, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but we're going to have to ride with Zach Wilson. We don't know who the next guy is going to be, but it's obviously not going to be Aaron Rodgers. So it sucks. It is what it is, but I had to touch on it. Maybe I don't think the Jets will need a miracle to make the playoffs because there's so much talent on that team, specifically on the defense. You look at the running backs. Breece Hall's a beast. Garrett Wilson's a beast. There's talent there. But sometimes miracles do happen. And again, we're talking NFL football right now, but this actually happened to me. I hope you can see this okay on the screen. $5 won me $3,200 on Sunday. Week 1 of the NFL, I hit the craziest parlay of my life. I couldn't believe it. $5, $3,200, plus 64,000 odds. You hear that? This couldn't even make me feel better, but just an incredible win. Deshaun Watson, Brian Robinson, Bijan Robinson, first touchdown scores in their respective games. It happened. It hit. It was incredible. I'm the parlay god. It's amazing. I couldn't believe it, but had to touch on this. Had to plug this. If you're ever interested in some locks, I'm your guy. I've hit way too many parlays this season. It's going to come back to bite me in the ass, but hopefully not in the amount of $3,200. So incredible. Couldn't be more excited. Let's not talk about taxes. If my dad's watching this, who worked for the IRS, now retired, thank you for your service, government agent, don't worry about it. We're going to figure it out. But, whatever. So let's get into a quick recap of weeks 1 and 2. Quick shout out to the picture above me. You should be familiar with the person on the right, Ron Harper, and his brother, the number 1 player in New Jersey, the number 1, number 2, depending on what recruiting site you're using. Dylan Harper, potential Rutgers commit, favored to go to Rutgers, both at the game against Northwestern. They put a show out for them. The fans were there. They had a Harper University sign these are guys we care about. These are guys we love. We love the Harper family, but just needed to include that picture in case you missed that. Give me 1 second. I just got to blow my nose. I'm going to put the mic over here, but I got to blow my nose, okay? This, again, preseason, credit to me for doing this hurt, but I gotta blow my nose. I have to. It's impossible for me not to. Mike's over there. I'm over here. Don't listen. Mute your TVs. All right, that's so much better. I feel so much better right now. Now, let's get into a quick week one. We're looking at the pictures on the left. That's against Northwestern. So let's just talk a little preseason football, Rutgers football. I was nervous coming into this game because it was something, there was a lot of new things happening. We were giving Gavin the keys. We had a new offensive coordinator. We lost all 3 wide receivers. The team finished on such a poor note coming off of just the way the season ended in 2022. And this was a standalone game, the Sunday of Labor Day weekend, the only game on TV. I'm at Citi Field celebrating my cousin's new marriage. He took out his groomsmen. I'm watching the game on my phone. And from the beginning to the end, Rutgers football really, truly, in my opinion, gave fans reasons for hope for this team. And there's so many reasons for that. Number one, we look at the picture top left, the throw to Ian Strong from Gavin Wimsatt. But before we got there, they started with the ball, and they had like a 7-minute drive, I think. I think it was a 7 or 8-minute drive. Held the ball, converted third downs, converted fourth downs. Gavin had that tremendous fourth down throw, rolling out to his left, throwing across his body to Christian Dremel. The offense was doing things that we just simply didn't see last season. And number one, that was controlling the clock, protecting the ball, and just staying on the field and giving the defense much-needed rest that they needed from the previous year. And that started from the beginning of the game, and it lasted through the rest of the game. I believe they did punt a couple of times, but the defense played strong. I think they limited Northwestern to, I have the stats up here, actually. Let me go to that. They limited Northwestern to 12 rushing yards. That's incredible. 22 rushing attempts for 12 yards. That's less than a yard an attempt. Quick math, credit to me. Obviously, they passed for 189, but that's going to happen, I think, in just the way football's played right now. But Gavin Wimsatt, I can't talk enough about him. When you look at a picture like this, I'm going to talk about a play against Temple. He's having fun. He's smiling. He's showing improvement, which is obviously most important. But he's growing into the great football player so many Rutgers fans wanted to. And obviously, there's plenty of room for improvement. We need to get that completion percentage up. But he's taking control of the offense. He's a leader, and he's showing the development that we needed for him in order for us to make that next step, to get to that 6-game mark, to get to a bowl game, and to show that we can compete in the Big Ten. And what pissed me off about coming into this game was you had Northwestern, who's coming off this horrible hazing incident. The head coach gets fired, and then they have the audacity, in my opinion, to come into this game, quote-unquote, motivated because, what the hell? Anthony, you just viewed the gift card I got you? Why is it emailing me that was weeks ago? Did you not open it? Come on. Why am I getting this email right now? Anyway, lost my train of thought. Why couldn't you open it weeks ago? Anyway, they come in and they're wearing these shirts when this hazing incident, and it's cats against the world. They're motivated. No one's counting for them. And what has Rutgers had to deal with since they joined the Big Ten, and even before that? It was, where am I? I need to get back to my comments. What was that? Rutgers doesn't belong in the Big Ten. You know, Rutgers shouldn't be here. They stink. They're a joke. It'll never work. Greg Schiano's second stint is a failure. And to me, and it still is, it's Rutgers against the world. And it's going to be Rutgers against the world for a very long time because we still need to prove ourselves, even though when you look at the athletics department across the board, there's been so much improvement. We've had Big Ten champions. We've had national champions. We've resurrected a basketball program that's in a basketball hotbed and is completely relevant within the Big Ten right now. We have if we land Dylan Harper, we'll have the number 1 recruiting class in the country for basketball. These are things that never were even a thought in my mind 5 years ago. But we have the people in place. We have the athletic director in place that's making this a reality, and it's just amazing. Obviously, there's a lot of changes going on with college football and college sports as a whole with NIL, but the game against Northwestern, to me, is a game that Rutgers in years past does not dominate from start to finish. And what did they do? They did exactly that. They dominated from start to finish. The defense has been incredible, but I want to talk about the players really more when I'm discussing the preview for Virginia Tech. Now, moving over to Temple, another blackout game. It wasn't a sold-out game. There was a lot of weather issues. If you were anywhere on the East Coast, I know that I have a national audience, possible global audience that's listening right now. You may not have had bad weather, but there's a hurricane that's moving up the East Coast, and it's giving us some really crazy weather. Hopefully everyone's staying safe. But in any case, rain's everywhere. There's been rain delays. Our game wasn't delayed, but it impacted the tailgating situation. I'm sure some people left, yada, yada, yada. So, great. Everything's lining up for another awful Rutgers game against Temple, because if you can remember in 2022, away at Lincoln Financial, the game was 16-14, Rutgers winning and not scoring an offensive touchdown. Not great. Not what you want to see. But that didn't happen this game. Again, start to finish, dominated. The defense, I truly do think that so far we've played Northwestern and Temple. I think Temple is better than Northwestern, and I think when we get to the Virginia Tech preview, they're going to be the best team. So we're kind of going from, if you're playing a video game, level 1, level 2, level 3. That's kind of how I'm looking at this. And then, of course, level 4 is against Michigan. That's the boss fight pretty early. But in any case, the way that Rutgers has been playing, whatever happened against Temple, obviously it wasn't a perfect game. Neither was Temple, or neither was Northwestern. But what we've seen from the team, Kyle Monangai, just truly being a running back that I don't want to say I kind of wrote off, but I just didn't expect him to have the type of impact that he did. And what did he do against Temple? He literally put the team on his back, rushed I don't know how many times, but for 165 yards, a touchdown. He's just been a wrecking force. He's playing bigger than his size. He's making plays. He's breaking tackles, and just all the credit in the world to him. And then, of course, true freshman Jayshon Benjamin, receiving touchdown, 33 yards. These guys are just coming out of the, not woodworks, but when you look at the running back room, it's just a unit. I for a while, I thought the defensive line was our strongest unit. And I think it's, without question right now, our running back room, because our two starters, pretty much the guys who we were going to rely on this year, and Sam Brown and Aaron Young, have barely played. Aaron Young hasn't played yet. Sam Brown has been in for a couple of snaps against Temple. But we've shown that we can do it with a true freshman and a proven vet in Kyle Monangai. So there's reason for optimism. There's reason for optimism because we're working to our strengths. And then, of course, the picture below, Jaquan Jackson, transfer from, I always get the school wrong, the California University of Pennsylvania. I don't know. I don't make the rules. It's just where he went to school. This is a guy who turned down multiple other Power 5 offers and chose to come to Rutgers. Wasn't for NIL, wasn't for reasons like that. It's reasons because he saw that there's a coaching staff that's on board with a quarterback with a lot of talent that can help him grow and help the team win games, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's turning into potentially our number one wide receiver. I mean, that Gavin Nuke to him in the second quarter, I think it was. 61 yards. I mean, it was just exactly what fans have wanted to see for so long. Gavin, we know he has the arm talent. Launched the ball, and that's exactly what happened. Really want to see more of that. But to just talk again about the receivers, this is a group that lost their 3 starters from last year. Aaron Kirkshank, Shameen Jones, and Sean Ryan. All 3 of those guys. And to be honest, we never really got a lot of production from them. Not going to blame them. I think they were a talented group, but we just didn't have the offensive scheme in place for a wide receiver to really have any success. And that's just not the case anymore. You look at the picture in the upper left. Ian Strong, true freshman, Long Island, shout out New York. Comes in as a true freshman, earns a spot on Sunday or Monday's ESPN Top 10 as the number 1 play from the weekend. Just an incredible toe drag touchdown. Again, a true freshman making impact early. Guys are filling the voids of places that we needed in the wide receiver group, and it's coming from everywhere. When you look at the box scores, there's so many guys that are getting involved, so many guys that are having an impact, and hopefully we can just continue to see that grow because we're going to need to establish the pass. As great as we can run the ball, you're going to need to be able to pass the ball to win, especially against the juggernauts within our own division and the conference as a whole in the Big Ten. So a group that has just played great. Is very excited with the way the team has performed. Areas of concern, obviously, the offensive line. I think they've done a great job in the passing game. They've obviously done clearly a good job blocking it. We rushed for, I think, over 200 yards in back-to-back games against probably not the best defenses, definitely not good defenses. But I think that with the injury to Tyler Needham against Temple, the right tackle, We're not sure. Greg Schiano's kind of been, with the way that the NCAA made a new rule that only 2 hours before your game you have to make an announcement of your injury report. So we won't really probably know about his availability. I'm not expecting him to play this week against Virginia Tech, but in any case, the left side of the line has been solidified. It seems like Gus Zielinski is going to be the center, but then your right guard and your right tackle, even other pieces around the offensive line, have really been rotating guys in. There's been a consistent guys who have been playing, but the offensive line is a unit. They have to play together. So really getting the right 5 guys in there, hopefully by Michigan, even though that's a game that's obviously going to be extremely challenging. No one's really expecting a win there, but if you're going to win against Michigan, it's going to have to be in the trenches, and getting guys like that along the offensive line to gel together is going to be really, really important and of paramount importance. So that's just an area where we have to have concern. Outside of that, I think something that people really need to take notice of is just what the coaching staff has done. In back-to-back games now, okay, Northwestern coaching situation, there's a mess because they have an interim head coach. Temple, they have a rising guy. I'm forgetting his name. But in any case, in both games, we've been the more prepared team, and that matters in football. That matters in college football specifically. You have to know what you're doing. You have to have your guys prepared. We have had limited penalties. We haven't had stupid penalties similar to like Temple had back 2 penalties where they didn't have enough guys in the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You can't have that. This isn't JV football. The rules of football. Those aren't the issues that we're having. We're lining up correctly. We're not seeing substitution issues. The team's doing what they need to do, and a lot of that has to be given credit to the coaching staff. So I'm very, very, very impressed with what Greg Schiano has done this year. Joe Harris-Semiak, defensive coordinator. If the defense continues to play at this level, I'm not exactly sure what the awards are like when it comes to the end of the year in the Big Ten, but he's got to be up there for. It's 2 weeks in. I'm saying if this continues, defensive coordinator of the year, and then of course, Kurt Chiracha coming over from Minnesota. He's doing exactly what he's done at his other stops. He's controlling the ball. We've. I'm really sorry. Excuse me. I wasn't coughing like this all day. At nighttime it gets worse. Maybe I have to do morning streams. Morning show. Wake up with Forno. Forn. Get up with Forn in the morn. There we go. That is right off the top of the head. That's what we're gonna do. 6 a.m. show. 6 a.m. No, let's go 9 a.m. and then it's 6 a.m. on the West Coast. Forn in the morn. Wake up with Forn in the morn. There we go. We just figured it out. Live together. That's amazing. Look for that on all your social media platforms. Anyway, going back to Kurt Chiracha. New offensive coordinator. We got rid of Sean Gleason. The experiment failed. He was terrible. I'm being blunt, but it's the truth. He was bad. He's over at Northwestern as an analyst right now, and they're just as bad. Anyway, Kurt Chiracha over from Minnesota. He is a guy who runs a very balanced attack. You look at what he did at Minnesota. He had Mohamed Ibrahim, one of the best running backs in the conference, ran him to the ground, not in a bad way, but he used him to the best of his ability. He's a great he's a great offensive coordinator when it comes to if you're going to run the ball, you want to control the clock, and you want to win in the trenches. He's your guy. You're not going to see 60 passes a game. I know that's kind of where a lot of teams could be. You're passing 40, 50 times, spreading it out, quick passes. We're not going to see that. We're going to see a lot of conservative play calling, and it's been very conservative through the weeks 1 and 2. I don't think we've seen the whole offense. I'm not sure when we are going to see the whole offense. Maybe Virginia Tech we see even more. I saw the offense, especially the deep throw to Jaquay Jackson. We didn't see that against Northwestern. Probably because we didn't need it, but we didn't see plays like that. So hopefully more of that continues to happen as the season progresses. But he's checking all the boxes. Where we needed to improve as a team was keeping the offense on the field, because our defense was then able to get the rest. Because what's the best defense? An offense that controls the ball. Remember that. The best defense is an offense that controls the ball, and that's why we're seeing our defense, who was already good last year, take such a tremendous step forward and even improve even more this season, because they're not on the field for 40 minutes a game. They're on the sideline figuring out what they can do to bring up another blitz. How can we attack this passing scheme if they're attacking us this way? Just doing a really great job, and that's a credit to Kirk Sriracha. He's installing a great system, and there's no surprises. The team's doing what they need to do. And we're 2-0, back-to-back dominating performances, and I think they're checking the boxes that Rutgers fans were looking forward to. So, one thing I would say, let's see. I guess not one area of concern. I mentioned it as a positive, but we're seeing outside of the running back position more in the passing game. We're seeing different guys rise to the occasion. So in week 1, we didn't see Jaquay Jackson making an impact. We saw Ian Strong make an impact. So when are we going to figure out who are our guys going to be? We're going to eventually need to have a go-to guy or a go-to lineup that we can rely on. And that goes for the offensive line. So those are things that I'm looking to have our questions answered soon. But regardless, I think that the takeaways from weeks 1 and 2 have been overwhelmingly positive. I think Rutgers fans are excited. And I can't give enough shout out to the students. I know the earlier games in this earlier games during the year, you have the students show up and they're really truly participants, making it a true home field advantage, a hostile place to play. And hopefully the fans as a whole can continue to do that. So I'm excited to see what happens against Temple. And it's, of course, hunting season. We're hunting for some Hokies on Saturday. Sorry, Taylor, if you're listening, but it's the truth. It's hunting season. We're coming after the Hokies. Now, the Hokies are dealing with a number of problems themselves. Hold on one second. Oh, okay. How did I just fix? I just completed my stand goal. Can you see this? How? I'm sitting. I've been sitting for the last 32 minutes. This is false. This is false encouragement. How did that happen? I'm sitting. How did I accomplish it? Anyway, that pisses me off. That's not true. SHI Stadium is not about to turn into Lane North. What is it? People don't even know what that means. Is that a street? Is that a street sign? Zip it. Zip it, pipsqueak. People like you are easy pickings. Be quiet. Anyway, Hokies are dealing with a number of things, and one is coming off of a really, really disappointing season with Brent Pry, the coach in the middle here, his first season down in Blacksburg. And ever since probably year 2 of the, hi, Mom, what's going on? Aw, isn't that nice? Football brings family together. What do we say? Family, food, football. The triple Fs. Come on, Unforno, 4. The Quattro Fs. Family, food, football, and Forno. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with. The Quattro Fs. Here we go. Anyway, yeah, so ever since the Justin Fuente era, I hope I'm saying that right. Taylor always gets mad at me. Fuente, I think it's Fuente. Shane Beamer retires, storied head coach, one of the most beloved coaches in all of college football, did a tremendous job in Blacksburg. Justin Fuente comes in. I think they make the ACC championship game. They lose to, I'm going to say, Clemson at the beginning of their dynasty. And then shortly after that, it begins to fall off. In that tenure, I believe they lost to UVA, which was the first time in, I don't know, a bunch of years, probably a decade and a half. You don't want to do that if you're from Virginia. The Commonwealth Cup. Did I say Shane Beamer? I meant, oh my God. Not Shane Beamer. Frank Beamer. Oh, Frankie, we love you. Hopefully you're healthy. But stop wearing South Carolina gear. Your son's a freaking weirdo and a loser on social media. Anyway, so we're talking Virginia Tech football. What happens? We're talking they lose the Commonwealth Cup, and then things really just started falling apart. He gets fired. Players transfer. The recruiting takes a dip. There's some talent in Virginia, but they're not keeping those top guys there. I think I just saw that the number 1 guy committed to, I don't know, Georgia maybe. I mean, that happens everywhere. The best players are going to go to the best schools. Anyway, they bring in Brent Pry, defensive coordinator, formerly at Penn State, which is a connection for Rutgers and Virginia Tech because both were on the staff at Penn State. Kurt Sriracha, previous offense coordinator there. So they know each other. He's a defensive guy. Kurt Sriracha's an offensive guy. So I don't know who has the advantage there, but with the situations going on at Virginia Tech right now, I'm going to have to side with a more healthier Rutgers team when it comes to who's going to have the advantage from the coaching comparison or the coaching tree that they come from. But let's talk what's happened with Brent Pry. I mean, his first game as a head coach, they go on the road to Old Dominion. I think someone in this chat may have been at that game. And what happened? They lose to a team that hasn't been around for very long. So it's just a tough start. The season was not good last year. I don't remember how many games they won. But this is a team for the longest time had one of, if not the longest active bowl streak in college football. And that ended either last year or maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So just a team that was so relevant in the college football world, a team that I really love watching and having a connection to. If you haven't ever made it down to Blacksburg, definitely do it. Next year we're going, if you're a Rutgers fan, because we're playing there. But a great place, and a place that I want to see get back to where I think they belong, because it's a tremendous fan base, tremendous environment down in Blacksburg, a lot of history. If you're ever aboard, just turn on the Mike Vick highlights when he was there. Awesome guy at home against. No. That was 2 years ago. Henry, be nice. I'll read. I have the Rutgers Athletics creed. I'll read it. We're not gonna be jerks now, okay? Anyway, I believe it was on the road last year, Taylor, to ODU when you guys lost last year. Okay, all right. Get your head out of your ass. All right, let's go. Wake up. Oh God, now we got beef in the chat. All right, I'm gonna move away from that. Anyway, Rutgers starts the year this year against ODU, takes care of business. If you haven't seen Enter Sandman at Lane Stadium, you got to do it. It's amazing. It's so much fun. But then they play a game last week against Purdue that was just a mess from the beginning because of the weather. It gets delayed. They started. It gets delayed again. Can't read the chat. Gets delayed. Play the game. Gets delayed. It took like 8 hours to complete. Now, my honest opinion, I do think that delay kept the game from being closer than it probably would have ended up, because from the beginning of the game, after the initial pause, I really thought Purdue was rolling on offense. They scored. Virginia Tech was sputtering on offense. They lose their number one wide receiver. It looks like he has an ankle injury. I don't know how severe it is, but enough to keep him out against Rutgers this upcoming weekend. He's the guy on the right. And the guy on the left is their quarterback, Grant Wells, who I was very excited for coming in for them. He transferred, I don't remember, I think it was like North Texas, or I think it was Marshall. Let's go with Marshall. Let's say he's from Marshall. I don't want to say North Texas because they're not very good. But Marshall, they're relevant, kind of. Yes, Tower. Do you have something you want to say?
No.
What are you doing? Crashing my show, it seems. She's short and she can't seem to get something out of the closet. I'm not gonna pan the camera because that's privacy matters. But she's so strong. Wow. Oh my God, I think we're in for a surprise guest. Oh my God. What is that? Oh my God. Are you gonna show everybody? No, turn around. Whoa. Oh, wait, over here. You can see yourself right here. Whoa! Turn around.
Hi, guys.
Whoa! HOKIES Hokies. Whoa!
Rutgers sucks.
That's not nice.
I really just came for my charger.
Oh, she came for her charge. Oh my God, they're booing you. Tomato. Boo. Boo. Wow.
I'm not as quick as Matt, so I'm gonna get out of here
You
because
say something.
I'm simply
Say
not
something
funny.
to the Hokie
Hi,
fans.
Mallory. See you Friday. Go Hokies. Bye.
Oh, isn't she adorable? My beautiful fiance. Oh my God. The Hokies suck. Anyway. Mom, stop. Get out of here. Distracting me. Anyway. She just threw me off. So this is a team. Grant Wells came in. Remember that first game against ODU? They're throwing the ball deep. He's connecting on none of it. He has. I don't think they do. He's got arm talent. He's got talent. He's athletic, but I just haven't seen it. I don't think a lot of other Hokie fans have seen it as well. But I think that, per message boards, they want to see the other guy play. His name is Kyron Drones. He played at Baylor from 2022 to 2023. Appeared in 5 games. Now he's in Blacksburg. Fans seem to like him. He's more of a dual threat quarterback. But from what I'm understanding, Virginia Tech, like Rutgers in previous seasons, is just having issues at the quarterback position. And that's never fun. But something else that I'm seeing from Virginia Tech that they're struggling at is they're not running the ball very well. And on defense, they're not stopping the running game. And Rutgers, on the other hand, has done a great job running the ball and stopping the run on defense. I do think that this is definitely, in my opinion, the most talented team that we're playing, probably the best coach team that we're playing. But they're struggling in positions of importance on the football field, and I think that's where Rutgers has the ability to take the advantage. This is probably the game I don't like talking about because I want Virginia Tech to be successful. However, they're just struggling. It's difficult to be a Virginia Tech Hokie fan right now because I feel like there's always been a level of competence there in Blacksburg, and I'm not sure what's going on. But I'm really hoping for a competitive game. But with all that being said, they're a team that's dealing with injuries. They're already down. I'm sorry if I'm saying his name. Ali Jennings, I believe his name, number 0, or I think that's him. I don't know if that's him. I looked it up. That was the first picture in Google Images. He's either 0 or 1. He's a single-digit guy. Good player, but he's going to be out. Another receiver, last name Lane, he might be out. And then they're down their starting tight end, I believe was a captain for their team who got hurt in the first game. He's out for the year. And then they might be without Grant Wells. So those are a lot of players, and there's another 5 starters who are also questionable that are appearing on the injury report. So we're dealing with a team with a quarterback issue, injuries on offense, and holes on defense that I've seen. Again, probably the most talented team that we've played, guys that are going to be able to match us in size, skill, talent, all of that. But if Kyle Monungai, if we have Sam Brown back, if Jason Benjamin continues to be a stud, if Gavin can air it out deep, I think that the Rutgers has a possibility to go start the season 3-0. I think that's a realistic possibility. When the betting line opens up at 3 and moves all the way to 7 in a day or two, that's a big jump. Does that make me necessarily feel more confident? Not really. I don't like that, but it is what it is. That's how it goes. But yeah, it's a game that I'm so excited for. We obviously talked about it at the beginning of the stream, talking about the tailgate. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to see all the Hokie fans that show up because there is a strong contingent. That's fucked up, Taylor. She's posting on Twitter slander. It's not good. I can't defend myself right now. Anyway, there's a lot of people from Jersey that do go down to Blacksburg, spend their 4 years in college, and they're so happy to go back. So I'm happy that they get to come see them play. It's been a while since they've played in the Northeast. I feel like the most convenient team that they would have played north of Virginia is either Pitt or Boston College, neither of which are very close to where they are, especially Boston College because it was 4 hours for me when I was in Connecticut. But excited for this game. Been looking forward to it with Taylor and I for 8 years. So many friends are coming. Family are coming. It's going to be a tremendous game. It's going to be a tremendous day. Hopefully the weather stays out. But I'm super, super pumped for this. But that's the preview for the game. I do want to talk about quickly the state of the Big Ten because there has been, I think, I don't want to say that there's been a bit of a power shift. Now, if we're looking at the West, who cares? In my opinion, it doesn't matter who comes out of the West. Oh crap! I'm in the middle. I gotta fix that. Hold on. I gotta shrink myself. Sorry, I'm gonna get really small now. I like being able to do this stuff. Anyway, I don't know who the best team is. If you had to ask me right now who wins, who's not going to win, Illinois, Purdue, Northwestern, I don't think Minnesota, and that leaves us between Iowa, who just stinks on offense but has a truly elite defense, and then Wisconsin, who just lost to Washington State on the road out in Washington. Forget the town they're in. In any case, they lost. So I don't know. That's a new coach, new quarterback. Luke Fickell's the quarterback at Wisconsin. I don't think it matters because the 3 best teams, the best division in football, in my opinion, without question, is in fact the Big Ten East. I think there's 3 top 10 teams right now in the division, meaning Rutgers is going to play all of them. And we're also the division with the team that we only have one. There's only one team with 1 loss. You look at the West, there's 4 teams with 1 loss. So that's not good. It's awesome seeing Rutgers in the second place, but that obviously doesn't matter because, not everybody, only us in Ohio State have played and I guess Indiana have played a division game or conference game in the division. But yeah, if you had to ask me right now who's been the best team in the Big Ten, and we're just talking the East, it has not been Ohio State. It's been between Michigan and Penn State, and I think you're going to have to say Penn State because when you look at Michigan, their week 1 game against ECU, they did not do a great job running the ball. They did not cover. Penn State, because James Franklin is a true asshole, did cover against West Virginia week 1, and then, of course, against Delaware in week 2, both home games. Ohio State has not covered. They did not look dominant against Indiana. Their defense looks very, very good, but, they have a new quarterback. This kind of happened. The same thing happened when C.J. Stroud was the starter, but he showed a lot more than Kyle McCord has, especially with the wide receiver talent that both of them have had. They both have had, maybe they haven't had, C.J. Stroud did have Marvin Harrison, so I'm not going to say he didn't. So there's a lot of questions across the conference, but yeah, I think Penn State right now has been the best. They have the best left tackle in the country. They have a young stud at quarterback. They have 2 tremendous running backs. But that you could say the same thing about Michigan and Ohio State. One team that's important to not forget about, of course, is Maryland. I think Taulia Tagovailoa, to his brother, is a tremendous quarterback. Michigan State, we don't like Michigan State. If you're watching this podcast, you don't like Michigan State. Why would you? Mel Tucker, a creep, has been fired or at least now suspended. It's just a mess of a East Lansing, just not a good place to be a athletic leader, it so appears. And who else am I forgetting in this conference? I guess Indiana, not a good team. Not a hot take, just the truth. Not a good team. Bad quarterback situation. Tom Allen's a weirdo with his buck teeth. I just don't like him. My mom, for some reason, likes him. Don't know why. Not a lot to like about. He's a weirdo. But yeah, that team is not good. Oh my God. How am I being? It's telling me loud environment. How? I'm talking. Is that possible? Can you go deaf? Talking by yourself? Wow. That is funny. I wish I could have showed that. Anyway, I think Rutgers has a chance to definitely finish not at the bottom of the Big Ten. We're going to be playing Virginia Tech. Obviously, let's go 3-0. And then after that, we're on the road. All right, fine. Maryland tight end, A.J. Szymanski. Wow. What a guy. Heisman hype? Is that what we're talking about? That's amazing. Shout out AJ. Hopefully Rutgers knocks you out when they play him. Anyway, so let's just review the schedule. So obviously we are hosting Virginia Tech. Let's hope for that win, 3-0. On the road in Ann Arbor. Yeah, they're a better team. That's just a fact. Jim Harbaugh will be back from a self-imposed suspension, which is weird in itself. Don't think that'll really be a storyline. So let's just, don't want to be a bummer. Rutgers loses that game. Oh, crap. We're 3-1. What happens? We're at home against Wagner. Oh, no, Wagner. They're terrible. They stink. They've won 1 game in 2 years or 3 years, whatever it's been. Now we're 4-0. 4-1. Sorry. That's an adult, bro. That's an adult. And he's playing football, so he's a man. Anyway, so yeah, 4-1 after Wagner. And then I believe homecoming against Michigan State. We talked about Michigan State. They're probably going to be without their head coach. Does the team rally or does the team quit? And do players transfer? Who knows? Seems like they have a pretty good quarterback. Last name Kim. Not sure what his first name is. But they have talent out there. But will they be able to keep it together? I don't know. We battled against them in East Lansing last year. We outplayed them, but we just lost. I don't remember what the deal was. But we did have more offensive yards, I know, than them. So, right now, I think that's a game Rutgers can win. And I know that maybe I'm just being too optimistic, but that would put Rutgers at 5-1. I think after that, I think it's on the road at Wisconsin. Again, a team that, if you ask me preseason, that's the game I'm probably most worried for just because they just always beat the crap out of us. But let's just play conservative. We lose that game. 5-2. Then I believe we're on the road in Indiana. I think that's a game Rutgers can win. 6-2. That means bowl game. That means that the season was a success, in my opinion. But I don't think that's where Rutgers should stop. I think it might be Iowa. I think I'm getting this mixed up. Then we're playing on the road in Iowa. That should be a tough one. Say we lose that. And then, of course, Ohio State, Penn State, and Maryland to close out the year. I don't know if that's the exact final schedule, but I think there's a true shot at 6 wins. So I thought that was important to go through the state of the Big Ten because this is one of those years in college football where we're seeing a reshuffle of who could possibly make the college football playoffs, and I believe this is the last year of just 4 teams making it. So we're going to see who truly is the best of the best. Will it be Florida State out of the ACC? Will we finally see Caleb Williams and the USC Trojans get to the college football playoffs? I don't know. Right now, if you haven't already, give the Pac-12 a watch. I know it's very difficult to get a hold of those games, whether it's because of when they're being played or the networks that they're being aired on. But they have like 5 of the best quarterbacks in the entire conference, or in the entire nation in that conference. You got Michael Penix in Washington State, Caleb Williams, USC, Bo Nix, Oregon. Who else is out there? Shedeur Sanders at Colorado, the best story in college football. Who doesn't want to see Deion Sanders in Colorado be successful? Probably Henry. Who else? There's definitely other quarterbacks out there that are worth watching. Wait, I'm just realizing I didn't include Nebraska. That's so funny. I didn't include Nebraska in the West. I must have cut them off. Yeah, but they suck. Who likes Nebraska? Nebraska fans, I guess. But they didn't make the graphic. That's funny. The Big Cinco. Who's that? I'm forgetting someone. Anyway, Pac-12, they got the guys. Give it a watch if you can. Those games are fun. But yeah, here we are. I think it's time we look for some best bets. You know, I talked about gambling earlier. I'm a little hot myself, if I might not say so. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at Let's take a look at some games. Now, I'm going to zoom in a bit. Can I? Oh, nice. All right. So Thursday, I'm not sure how excited I am about the Navy-Memphis game. I'm just going to talk through picks that I think might be worth you taking a shot at. Let me get back my live stream over here. Oh, DJ Uiagalelei. Uiagalelei. Oogly boogly boo. Wait, I think there was a question up here that I missed. Is it a Scarlet Out? Scarlet Out for our community day or something like that. Wear red. I'm going to bring all of my Rutgers gear I'm bringing. If anybody needs to wear it, I'll be bringing extras. Now, everybody wants to talk gambling. Everybody wants to win money. We all want to get rich. I obviously discovered a get-rich free money hack that I'm going to share for you guys. So games that I think that are worth betting on and insight behind it. Virginia's a bad football team. That's just a fact. They're a bad football team. Maybe the whole state of Virginia just has bad football teams. I don't know. But Maryland, again, I talked very highly about Taulia Tagovailoa. They have talent on that team. They did lose a couple guys to the NFL draft and just graduation. But if I had to put a bet in right now, my money would be giving UVA the 14 points. So that would be Maryland minus 14.5. It's a big spread. Thursday night. Is it a third? Yeah. Oh, wow. It is a third. No. It's a Friday game. They don't have the best home field advantage, but then again, because it's a Friday, maybe the students show out, maybe the fans show out. I hope they do. If you were with me because of the Rutgers Hall of Fame, we did get to go to that game last year, and you saw for yourself that the fans don't show up. Pretty nice stadium, pretty nice campus. Where were the fans? I don't know. Lobbying in D.C. because it's so close to there. I don't know. But yeah, I would feel confident taking. I would want to take Maryland 14.5. Big spread, but that's where I'm looking. Army UTSA. I don't have a pick there. If you happen to look at spreads last week, Navy and Army were both 35 plus favorites, and I think they both covered, which is just insane. I don't know the last time I saw the military academies favored that largely in a game. Just exciting. Utah State Air Force pass. Penn State on the road against Illinois. 14.5 points. That's the same as Maryland is giving UVA at home, but Penn State's on the road. Is Penn State a better team? Yes. Did Illinois just lose to Kansas on the road? Yes. Did they get blown out? Yes. Did I bet on Kansas and did they cover because they were only a 3-point favorite? Yes. I was super excited about that. However, Penn State, they dominated West Virginia, but I think they still have more to show. I think there's more on that roster that has to perform. But then again, I do not feel confident about Illinois. If you had to ask me who I would want to take here, it would be Penn State. I know I have a stupid parlay that I placed. I might have to look. I might have to log in to see what that is. Let me do that, actually. But in any case, Penn State is a very good football team. As much as it sucks to say, it's just the truth. Let's see. What did I do? Did I take them money line or did I take them... And Dad, if you're listening, I'm not betting anymore, so I'm just lying. This is all for views. I didn't include them in the parlay. Ooh. All right. Well, in any case, if Penn State is going to be good, they're going to have to win by 2 scores. So give me Penn State minus 14.5. Florida State minus 26.5. That's where I'm at. Boston College, not a good football team. I would say, yeah, dude, it's very possible that Florida State can put 50 on them. Maybe look at the over here as well. If you don't feel comfortable taking the 26.5, you think Boston College maybe sticks out a touchdown or two. Yeah, you can never bet on Penn State, but look, we're in the business of making money. You want to make money, you can't bet with your heart. You can't bet with your heart. Number one rule about sports betting, you can't bet with your heart. Remember that. I do it with Rutgers all the time. Time and again it pays, time and time it doesn't. They won me money I didn't bet them Northwestern, but they won me a lot of money against Temple. I probably won't be able to bet them on them this week because I'll be in New Jersey the whole time. But in any case, oh God, can you see my balance? Fuck. Well, yeah. Sick balance. I'm cool. I'm the man. Anyway, Florida State minus 27. If you don't feel comfortable about that, 49.5. Let's see. Do they have the first half line? First half spread 13.5. I like that too. That's great. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at that big time. This is my current parlay that I constructed. Maryland minus 14.5. Mississippi State plus 8.5. Hosting LSU. Florida State minus 26.5. That's gonna probably be a loser. Wisconsin money line against Georgia Southern. Minnesota plus 7.5. I think they have a good defense. I think they can limit the offense. I don't know what else is going on. Minnesota plus 7.5. FIU plus 8.5 against UConn. Why? Because F Connecticut. And the under of the Northwestern Duke game. I think both teams. I think Duke. I like Duke a lot, but Northwestern against a good defense will sputter. I don't know if Duke is going to be wanting to run very quickly, but that could be a game. Duke wins by 50. So I wouldn't feel comfortable about this parlay. I don't think it's going to do too hot. But in any case, let's look at some more game. How do I get back? What am I doing? Get me back. What other we got? So yeah. Damn. People are on LSU. I got them at 8.5 in the parlay. Mississippi State, good quarterback. I forget his name. Will Rogers. LSU, really disappointed week 1 against Florida State. I think there's holes on that team. I don't like Brian Kelly. Does that mean you should bet this game? Probably not. Louisville, they didn't cover week 1 against Georgia Tech. Indiana stinks. I do think Louisville wins this game, though. I would feel comfortable taking the money line here. Wake Forest, ODU, don't have an opinion on. Liberty, Buffalo, don't have an opinion. Iowa State, Ohio. I kind of like taking Ohio with the points here. O'Rourke is the quarterback for Ohio. They do have a good defense. This could be an underplay, though. This could be a big-time underplay. If you're interested in this game, under 44.5, Ohio plus 3. I don't have a play here. I really don't. Wisconsin needs to bounce back. They really, really should cover against this team. They have a lot of talent. They have 2 really, really good running backs. Supposedly a good quarterback. I like Luke Fickell, the head coach. They have to win by 3 scores against this game. But is that the correct pick? I don't know. Maybe also look at Wisconsin's defense just hasn't been what it's used to been. But 63.5, that's a big over for a Wisconsin game. I'm definitely siding with the under there, which means it's probably a loser. Notre Dame, arguably one of the best teams in the country, could very well find themselves in the college football playoffs. They have a tremendous schedule. Next week, they host Ohio State. I think they play USC. Who else have they played? Nobody. They beat NC State. That's a good win, but not the best win. But they have the wins on the schedule. They have the brand. They could find themselves in the college football playoffs. They've had worse teams and done it, so it's possible that they can find themselves there. I would not be shocked if you were comfortable taking their schedule is impossible in a good way, and like saying that like they're gonna that you don't. I think that Notre Dame is capable if they win their games. Obviously, they got to win the games, and they don't have the benefit of a conference championship game to possibly get them in. If they already do have that one loss, so they probably have to play perfect or lose a close game. But with the way Ohio State's been playing, like, oh man, I think I wouldn't be shocked if Notre Dame that spread's going to be tight. That spread is not going to be 10 points like it was last year, I think, when Notre Dame came to Columbus. So that's an exciting game, probably outside of Texas, Alabama, one of the biggest games of the year. But this week of college football just isn't very exciting. Obviously, the Rutgers game is, but out of that, not very exciting. Yeah, I would feel comfortable. Not comfortable, but I wouldn't trust Central Michigan there. UMass, EMU, shoot me in the face. Minnesota, UNC. UNC, great offense, bad defense. Minnesota, really good defense, not a great offense, but every team that plays UNC keeps it close. That's why I'm going with Minnesota plus 7.5. I know it's on the road, but, Minnesota's just going to try to run the ball, control the clock, similar to what Rutgers wants to do. South Carolina, minus 27.5. Georgia, minus 27.5, hosting South Carolina. Georgia always just finds a way to, I don't know. Maybe this is a game that Shane Beamer shocks the world. That would be crazy. You want to talk about a team. I was just saying how Notre Dame has a really great schedule. Georgia's schedule is a joke. I know they're the number one team. They are the number one team. I haven't watched them play a single snap, but you don't have to tell me that they're the number one team. I know that they're the number one team. They've showed it the last 2 years. But I hope that a team knocks them off because I don't like when, this doesn't matter. They've done the year before where they don't play anybody and they still win the national championship. So I guess it doesn't matter, but this is not a game I want to bet. I know I said FIU plus 8.5. Don't feel very confident about that. Looking at this game, App State, ECU, the way ECU played on the road week 1 in Ann Arbor makes me think they can keep it close against App State. I want to go to a game in App State. It's just in the middle of the woods, mountains in the background, Smoky Mountains. Looks very cool. I would love to go to a game there. Probably Boone, North Carolina. Would love to go, but probably never will. But I think ECU plus 9.5 is the play there. Like I said here, Duke Northwestern, probably take Duke minus 18.5, maybe the under as well. Oklahoma is just not a team I trust. Don't want to touch that. Iowa, I just don't know if Iowa can score 4 touchdowns. You're relying on Iowa scoring 4 touchdowns. Now, they can score literally 2 touchdowns on defense. That's very, very realistic for that team. They have an elite defense, but they have a terrible, terrible offensive coordinator in Brian Ferentz, the head coach's son. I would, if anything, I would feel more comfortable taking Western Michigan here. I know maybe probably the under as well, 42.5. Oregon State, awesome team. I kind of want to take that minus 24.5. Alabama just loses at home to Texas, a good football team. Damn, I'm going for an hour. Whatever, I'm having fun. I'm gonna blow my nose so hard when we're done with this. But I'm sorry if you're still listening. You can leave if you want. I'm pretty much just talking through sports bets at this time. But Alabama minus 31.5. You got to imagine they're pissed off. They just lost at home. I don't know how many times they've lost in that stadium since Nick Saban's been the head coach. Can't be many, especially out of conference games. I don't know if they've ever lost an out of conference game at home under Nick Saban. Now, it's a big game that they did lose, but in any case, I would be taking Alabama minus 31.5 here. They're probably going to be pissed off. Number 10, when's the last time we saw a single digit next to Alabama's name? That's crazy. But that's the way it goes. Maybe Nick Saban's done. Ohio State needs to cover one of these games. But yeah, I would be taking maybe first half. Maybe like first half spread. Look for that. I'm talking Alabama, Ohio State. Tulane minus 12.5 against University of Southern Miss. Probably Tulane here. I do not like Texas A&M. I would be taking University of Louisiana Monroe. I hate Michigan State, so give me Washington minus 16.5. I know it's at home, but I like Washington a lot. Michael Penix is awesome. Nope, don't care about that game. Dude, Florida stinks. They really do. Give me Tennessee minus 6.5. What else do we have? These games kind of stink too. I don't like any of these. I think out of spite, I just take Northern Illinois. Maybe money line too. Imagine if Nebraska starts 0-3. That would be hilarious. I love Washington Huskies. I'm a big Washington Huskies fan. I always forget their wide receiver's name, but they have a really, really good team. Like, don't sleep on the Huskies. I do think they can give USC a run for their money in the Pac-12. I don't know if they play, but that would be an awesome game. It stinks that it's hard to watch those games because they're either on the Pac-12 network, which is lost in the ether, or starting at 10 o'clock at night. But I do like the Huskies a lot, and I think Michael Penix is awesome. The only thing I don't like about him is that he's a lefty, and watching a lefty quarterback makes me feel uncomfortable. It's just the truth. Pittsburgh. Oof, this is a good rivalry game. Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's sick. Is it in Utah? Because I would love to go to that stadium. That's awesome. Pittsburgh at West Virginia. Pitt, I think, just lost. I don't know. That game is a historic rivalry. Eat shit, Pitt, as West Virginia says. No play there. This is just not a great week. It really is not. I don't like Syracuse, so give me Purdue plus 2.5. That's still fun. Still a fun place to go. Right on the lake. I don't know, Lake Washington. I don't know what it's called, but that's fun. Awesome. Enjoy. Hopefully you go. These games stink. These games stink. Yeah, give me Texas minus 28.5. Should that be should that be a nuclear play? This is scary. 22.5, that's scary. But could happen though. Their defense is not good. Colorado's defense. But this could happen. Don't ask why, ask why not. Damn, this is not a fun. Wait, what? Is this next week? In any case, yeah, this is not a great slate. If you're trying to win money, I don't know if this is the week to do it because it's just not fun. But in any case, everybody, I'm glad we did this. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to try and do this more because I love talking about Rutgers football. Hopefully, as they win, more people join. We could talk more in the chat. I love talking to you guys. Love engaging with you guys. If you don't already, maybe shoot me a follow on Twitter at AOPaisan. I do have an Instagram managed by a third party. Thank you, third party. It's at Vote for Forno when I was making a run for Rutgers Fan Hall of Fame, which I did win. You're talking to a Hall of Famer right now. That's me. But yeah, I appreciate everybody joining. I'm excited for Rutgers. Let's chop. Let's win the game. I do think this is a game Rutgers can and will win. But, we're going to take it one snap at a time, one drive at a time. And Gavin we trust, and Greg we trust. And let's go. Let's pin our ears back on defense. Let's get after these Hokies. It's hunting season. I want some turkey. I'm hungry. But yeah, let's get this win. Let's keep chopping. And, of course, go Rutgers. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.